Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Marco D'Angelo, President and CEO of the Canadian Urban Transit Association. Joining me today is the Chair of CUTA's board, Dave Reage. We're here, we have a full day of meetings on Parliament Hill. We've got folks from transit agencies from every part of the country, as well as the business sector that supports them. We'll be speaking today with members of Parliament, other elected officials, the senior civil service as well, to talk about one clear and urgent priority: sustained and expanded federal funding for public transit. Tomorrow, we'll be continuing that discussion with our policy forum, and that takes place from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Lord Elgin Hotel right here in Ottawa. And we invite members of the media who wish to join us to let us know. It'll be an opportunity to take a deeper dive into the policies that shape the future of public transit in Canada and where we're going in the coming decade. And then also an opportunity to hear directly from industry leaders, transit experts, and decision makers from around Canada. So what brings us all here today? Transit and Canada are at a pivotal moment. Political shifts, supply chain disruptions, and rising costs have underscored one simple truth: that transit isn't just a service, but it is nation-building infrastructure. Like the railways and highways that connected earlier generations, today's transit systems connect the next generation of housing and jobs and economic opportunity. They're essential to making growth sustainable, ensuring affordability and fairness for families, while building a competitive Canadian economy. That's why transit must be central to Canada's broader nation-building agenda, alongside some of the projects that have already been announced by Prime Minister Mark Carney as he's launched the Major Projects Office. And that's why we're here today to call on the federal government to ensure that the Canada Public Transit Fund, launching in 2026, is designed and funded so that it can succeed. Le transport collectif n'est pas seulement un service, c'est une infrastructure de construction nationale. Tout comme les chemins de fer et les autoroutes qui ont uni les générations précédentes, les réseaux de transport collectif d'aujourd'hui relieront la prochaine génération à ses logements, à ses emplois et aux occasions économiques. Ils sont essentiels pour assurer une croissance durable, rendre la vie plus abordable pour les familles et soutenir une économie concurrentielle. C'est pourquoi le transport collectif doit être au cœur du programme de construction nationale du Canada, aux côtés d'autres projets structurants appuyés par le Bureau de grands projets du Premier ministre Carney. Et c'est pourquoi nous demandons au gouvernement fédéral d'assurer que le Fonds canadien pour le transport en commun, qui sera lancé en 2026, soit conçu et financé de manière à garantir son succès. The Canadian Public Transit Fund is set to provide $3 billion every year in stable and predictable funding to modernize transit systems across our country, to help people to reach jobs, to reach housing and essential services, while bolstering the economy in our cities and towns. And to help people reach jobs, we need to have an effective, reliable transit service. And this program, the CPTF, is designed to do just that. It's designed to be transformative. But the way that it's structured risks slowing down the very instruments that Canadians urgently need. So these are investments that are needed. There's a large infrastructure debt that's accumulated in public transit, but we see optimism in terms of how the CPTF can help to address those gaps. Right now, the fund has several streams, including a smaller baseline stream that will be available but offers fewer dollars, and a much larger metro region stream that will be tied up in complicated government requirement and red tape. The structure could delay the launch of these critical infrastructure projects and limit how much we can get built right away next year in 2026. This is at a time when transit systems are already stretched to the breaking point. Across our country, we know that the fleet, the average age of a bus, is rapidly aging. In 2019, the average age of a vehicle was 8.3 years, and now sits at 9.5 years, meaning there's also vehicles on the road, too many of them, that are 15 years old, that are over 20 years old, and those have costs that are associated with having a fleet that's aging when it could be refreshed with a new, more reliable bus. At the same time, we know that $9.5 billion worth of transit assets are already rated to be in poor condition and require up to $20 billion in capital just to restore those. And this is really where it's essential that that fund for Canadian public transit launches on time on April 1, 2026. So today, as we meet parliamentarians, we're bringing forward a clear set of solutions. We have practical steps to make this fund work for Canadians, and to walk you through those, I'd like to turn it over to the chair of CUTA's board, Dave Reage.
Thank you, Marco. Good morning. I'm Dave Reage, chair of CUTA and executive director of strategic infrastructure and transportation planning with the Halifax Regional Municipality. As Marco said, the challenges facing our systems are real, but they are solvable if we act now. We are asking the federal government to strengthen the Canada Public Transit Fund in 4 key ways. First, we are asking to double the baseline funding stream from $500 million to $1 billion annually. This will allow agencies to meet the urgent needs of today's commuters and tomorrow's growth by getting funding out the door quickly to systems of all sizes with shovel-ready projects across the country. Second, we are asking the government to legislate the fund and include a 5% annual funding escalator. Construction and procurement costs are rising faster than inflation. The cost of a new bus has already increased by over 22% since 2020, and this escalator is needed to preserve the fund's value over time. Third, we are calling on the government to use the fund's targeted funding stream to help agencies rapidly renew their fleets with flexibility on propulsion type. Some systems are ready to adopt electric buses, while others must rely on hybrid and other propulsion types for now. New vehicles of any type reduce emissions compared to older ones and improve reliability, which cuts congestion and supports economic growth. And fourth, we need to make sure this fund works for all of Canada. That means cutting the red tape built into its current design, particularly in the Metro Region Agreement stream, which risks delaying funding for years. We are asking the federal government to simplify the process and expand eligibility so that smaller and rural systems, often the ones with the most severe mobility gaps, can access capital to grow their service. Without this flexibility, the fund risks benefiting only the largest cities while leaving many communities behind. Finally, we also need to keep people safe. That means protecting the frontline transit workers who keep our system running every day. We are asking for an amendment to the criminal code to strengthen penalties for assaults on transit workers and to expand the definition of operator to include all frontline staff, such as maintenance workers, fare inspectors, and station personnel. Every person who helps deliver transit service deserves to be safe on the job. Every dollar invested in public transit creates $2.40 in economic activity and adds $1 to Canada's GDP. Transit is how we will unlock housing supply, strengthen labor markets, reduce congestion, and cut emissions all at once. This is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to give Canadians the safe, reliable, and affordable public transit they deserve. The Canada Public Transit Fund must be built to meet the scale of this challenge. The time to act is now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, and we'd be happy to take a few questions as well.
Thank you very much. We don't have any questions in the room or online right now.
Okay.
Nous n'avons pas de questions dans la pièce ou en ligne. This concludes the press conference.
Okay.
Ça conclut la conférence de presse. Merci.
Thank you. Thank you.